other controversial programs do not necessarily represent the opinions of this station. Commissioner Hunter.
My fellow citizens of Springfield, I am speaking to you this evening both as a private citizen of this city and as an elected official of your city government. I am availing myself of a fundamental right guaranteed by our Constitution to every American citizen, the right of free speech. What I have to say affects you, your city, and your home as much as it has affected me. I want it understood at the very beginning that the radio time engaged this evening, as well as the newspaper advertisements in connection with this, are being paid for by me individually and not by the Department of Public Property. During the past year and a half, I personally and the entire City Water, Light and Power Department have been the subjects of a continuous series of attacks made by a purported newspaper of this city, the Citizens Tribune, which is published by J.R. Fitzpatrick, also known as Bud Fitzpatrick. These attacks have been so vicious, so misleading, and so untruthful that they have given a completely distorted picture of the true situation relating to your Department of Public Property and my administration. My own personal honor, my duty to you as a public official elected by you, and my obligation to every loyal and faithful worker in the department, as well as to those high-minded, unselfish citizens of this community, some living and some who are no longer with us, who have constructed this mighty edifice. All these require me to tell you the whole truth, and that is what I am going to do. Abraham Lincoln once said, "Let the people know the truth, and this country will be free." I am proceeding tonight upon the firm conviction that if the true facts are presented to the people, their basic honesty, their sense of fair play, and their wisdom will guide them to a proper conclusion. For a complete understanding of this situation, it will be necessary to give a brief resume of the background and of my associations with the Citizens Tribune. Following my discharge from the United States Army in 1946, I returned to the office of the Sheriff of Sangamon County and became Chief Deputy. When I decided not to continue in the Sheriff's office, some of my friends suggested that I become a candidate for City Commissioner in the 1947 election. I was not in a position to finance such a campaign and told my friends that I would have to rely entirely upon their assistance. One of those who urged me to run was J.R. Fitzpatrick, whom I had known through my activity in athletics. At first he wanted me to run for mayor, and he told me that he would throw the entire weight of his newspaper in support of my candidacy, that he would provide free advertising, would print posters, and all other political material necessary. I told him frankly that I did not have the money to run for any office. He then said he would furnish this if I would agree to run for commissioner, which I did. He said he was interested in me because I was one of his old ball players, and he knew I was the kind of a person who would give the city a decent, honest, efficient administration. I sincerely appreciated the support given me in that campaign by the Citizens Tribune and J.R. Fitzpatrick, just as I appreciated all the other voluntary help which I received from so many fine friends in Springfield. However, it was not long after I assumed the office of Commissioner of Public Property until I began to see Mr. Fitzpatrick's real motives. He began making a series of demands upon me which were impossible to grant. He demanded all of the lumber business and all of the building material business of the department for the Fitzpatrick Lumber Company. He demanded all of the printing for the Citizens Tribune Printing Company. He demanded free water and light for the Fitzpatrick Stadium, which was being built at that time in memory of his deceased son as a recreational center for the youth of this community. He demanded that a relative of his, who at the time was working for him, be made purchasing agent of the city water, light, and power department. As a concrete example, he said that the Citizens Tribune might lose its present lease at 417 East Jefferson Street, and that he wanted the paper to be moved to 724 East Monroe Street, which was owned by the city. I told him that the building was leased to the White Swan Laundry Company and other tenants at a monthly rental of $239. He said he did not care about this and demanded that the city evict the White Swan Laundry Company and these tenants and give the Citizens Tribune a 10-year lease at $100 per month. I want you to know that I believe in the freedom of the press, but that, like any other right or liberty, must be coupled with an obligation to the public, both legal and moral, an obligation to be fair, to print the truth, which means the whole truth. I am resolved that no matter what further attacks are made upon me and this department, no matter what false accusations, what threats are made against me, I will not swerve from the path of duty. I will not be intimidated. I will not be deterred by any unscrupulous person. I will be guided in the future, as I have in the past, only by dictates of conscience, of public service, and of public trust. And when my duties are over, I want to be able to say to you, in the words of St. Paul, I have fought the good fight. I have finished my course. I have kept the faith. Thank you and good night.